Hello and welcome to part number 2 of upgrading the city. Right, I have not even put together part number 1. I have just looked at the actual time-lapse. Time-lapse worked absolutely fine. But in the process of me, or the time it took for the process of it being copied and pasted over, I think it would look quite nice with the Colosseum smack on the floor, with the 2 lax tables above it, Eiffel Tower above that, all of the architecture sets then around it, and then it'd be wrapped around by the theme park. So if you've not yet caught part number 1, and you are interested in what I actually am talking about, head over and quickly watch part number 1 and then obviously catch up with part number 2. If you can't be bothered, I'll fill you in now. So basically what we've done so far is moved quite a lot of bits and pieces, tables and stuff over into that side. The plan of attack for today is, or on this video shall I say, is to get this off. I'm going to do it as a time lapse, clear all of this, pull this table out. I want to put that lax table and that lax table there, get the Colosseum on the floor, tidy out what's underneath that table. I've started to pull 1 or 2 bits out just to try and get it away from the leg so I can actually pull the table off, and then we can see exactly what the height will be like. This is all in anticipation for a set that I might not even get, but it can physically only go in this one place. And I think it would look an amazing thing because I want to do it as a mini land for the theme park. And if it can only go there, it means all the theme park and everything's got to move, the whole city's got to move, everything. So that's like a 30-second explanation of what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, I don't know, but I'm going to do this as a run up to Christmas. Then we'll see what's what around Christmas time. If I can pick it up in the new year, then I'll start building it and then we can just start this journey together. But I thought I'd do it from day 1 rather than just going, surprise, it's here, let's build it on the live. Now, with regards to the lives, I will try and do them again in January of 2023, but I thought I'd do some update videos as we go in here because I've got very, very limited time in certain parts of the days that I am about to get these done for everybody. So I'll set this up to a time lapse now. We'll get this bit completely clear, which is such a shame because this was done by everybody on the lives, all the detail, all the road and everything. They all came up with these ideas. Now, if I can, all I want to do is I just want to move this over to here. But what I'm going to obviously have to do first is just basically rip it out and then just crack on and go from there. But we can get that pulled over. I just push all the modulars in, as you could put the modulars back. I stack all the plates on top of each other. The minifigs I'll just keep on top of the plate, so it should all just fit where that stool is. Pull the stool off, put the laxes in. That's the 2 little tables there. And then I'll catch back up with myself then, see where we're at that point, and then maybe look into moving the rest of that city, because I can't really move the stuff that's behind it, which is that stuff, until this has actually been put correctly, and that needs to go where that is. That will then all need to be redone on these 2 tables. But if I can then move all the coaster stuff over to there, which will then free up 2 big tables, and obviously I've got that pile of just stuff that I've thrown there. So I've got plenty of, now I can keep working around as triangles, so it should be a lot better. So I will just keep literally moving stuff round and round and round. Then I should finish up with a pile of stuff that I just need to sort out. I can then sort all of that out, put it back, put it away, and job's a good one, he says. And just like that, it is kind of moved. So luckily we've got the ceiling height for this, because I said in the last video, bugle and the fan, or blade, turbine, there we go, can only go in specific places because of the ceiling height and how much it actually angles. I don't think it does it justice on the camera, just how quickly it touches. But if you have got the roller coaster, for example, the flag is touching the back part. So if you want to use that as a reference point. But before I move this over and we go back to another time lapse and I pull the table out, in case you've not seen the bugle, I can give you a quick turkey twizzler of what it's like on the back and all the little hidden Easter eggs. You've got the bird's nest, possibly should have been a bird there, might have fallen off. And we moved and removed all the figures. Oh, there's a little bird. So the bird is still there. And we can add some more details on the back. So depending on how this goes, basically where this fan's going to go eventually, we can decide if we're going to have him facing that way, facing forward, which might be quite a cool thing, or we have him as it was and you just see the back rather than the front. But I think that might be a little bit boring. But it can only go there, basically. It has to go right at the edge of this table. This is where the city will start, and like I said, the theme park will just wrap behind it. Now the other cool bits and pieces that we did on the lives as well was stuff like this, with regards to like the staircase that we added in. Yes, I know it's not exactly the greatest colour for the bricks, but we did sort of like a block off for the back of the table, and we had bits and pieces like that up because it was a sort of like a hologram kind of feel like you got from Spider-Man. So we were using the main man himself just coming off the top, and he was coming up with all his different bits and pieces. So there's a lot of sort of Easter eggs and a lot of references to all your Marvel stuff in there, but when we redo it, it will be a full mix of Marvel and DC, hence the Batmobile that was there. And as you can see, we were adding in a little bit of a Harry Potter alleyway from the front. That was going to go all the way to the back. Now this table's never been able to be used properly with the city, just because I can't reach. So this is also another good thing to do, because the table's not being so high, it means I can reach, because I'm not exactly 7 foot. The other bits and pieces that now I can display permanently are all the special editions. So I've got the airport, I've got the house. Might build that one up maybe and have that as the museum, but as I've just been doing those little bits and pieces, I really think if I can get that Colosseum on the floor, because it is just sort of dumped in the corner, I think it would look quite nice with maybe a car park behind it and around it, and then we have something going up to the next tier, which will be the tables. On those tables will basically be the Miniland area, which is going to be all of the architectural sets that I've got, because I've got 7 or 8 of them. I've got enough to basically fill up a full table, because I've done it already with regards to snaking it around. So we might have a bit lower and then a bit maybe up in the actual theme park as well, where we could have it where they come down and off the front. Might be able to put a crazy golf course in there. But you all let me know in the comments below what you guys and girls think with regards to this, because all the lives basically has designed the Lego city over the last good few months. But yeah, let us know what are the bits and pieces that we can put in. Like I said, golf course, other little bits and pieces, but it'd be quite nice to start from ground level, work our way up. Then with regards to now having a good sort out and a tidy up, I can get underneath these tables, maybe add in the old train tracks. We could potentially have the train running to and from as like a shuttle service, and just things which, you know, you can't really see, but you've got to remember that this spot here now is going to be the main bit that you guys and girls see from the lives. So if I can actually stand behind here, I have the laptop facing forward, but the camera would be, I reckon, like there. So you would see all of that all the way through up to the top. So it'd be a good sort of vantage point of making it look as smart as possible. I will push this over now rather than doing it as a quick time lapse, and then just need to get it off the table. Now the tables aren't level because the floor's not level, so it's not excuse me, it's not the easiest thing to do. And I haven't got you on the normal bit, I've got you on a clip, so it hasn't broken, hasn't snapped, and we are off. So that is off on. You can see the fan blade compared to the bugle. In fact, I might actually have enough space to twist this about so you can see it a little bit better. Just kinda. Right, so there we go. You got the Ghostbuster bit behind, so the bugle will go where the fan is, maybe, or it can go anywhere here, I guess, anywhere down this table, but it just can't go past that point. So it's only 32 by 32 base plate. Maybe it's a little wider. No, it's 32 by 32, so it can't go basically past that line, because we will end up hitting. So that could potentially just stay there. We could use that as the power supply for underneath, so that could potentially go on the floor, but I think it might be too tall and it might hit the table. Or that can power up the theme park and we can connect it through, or we can have it going this way. So if you quite like the big stuff up top, and then we come down into the town. And don't forget, if you didn't watch part number 1, there is another table, which will be this one. This table will go here, so I'll either start putting the table there, which is what I'm going to do in the next, well, now, or it's going to go across there, and all of that's been taken down and all of that's been shifted and moved as well. So it's a huge shift about, but I will get you back onto a time lapse, put this roughly where it could go. I'll get the other 2 tables down because I've got to move all of the Lego off that one, and that's actually where I've been doing the time lapse from, which is slightly annoying, but we'll figure it out when we get to that bit, and then yeah, we'll just go from there. I said in the back of that camera, it was only 20 seconds. I think it's took me a fair bit longer than that. Right, so that is in. You can see how much lower it is than that. Now, this table would be where it would go. That would be the walk through, like I showed off in the previous video, minus absolutely everything off the floor, because obviously I do all of that off camera, because it's just a little bit awkward. Now the only thing is this would be for me to crouch down in to actually be able to get, because obviously you can see it's literally, all I've done is from the lives, I've been lazy, I've just thrown boxes underneath, as you do, or the cats, as you can see I've got 3 of them, jump up, knock little bits and pieces off. I just can't be bothered to go underneath the table and get them. It's like a pit of stuff that will never be found, but now I can actually get in. It'll be okay, because all these boxes, like I said, they're going to go in and through there. I think what I'll do to start with, I might take this table apart, because I don't know if it would just make sense maybe having half a table here. So basically one of the lacks that size, so it would only come to basically where the hat is, or that line. And we have that bit, and then this bit is just space for me to be able to crouch down and do things. Maybe this table's just a little bit too big. I think I've been a bit greedy, especially as I've got those 2 there. But at the same time, those 2 tables over there aren't doing anything. So do we have like a downtown section, and then we have maybe a couple of planes dangling off the ceiling, and it looks like it's transportation. Obviously don't have a runway, but it's just too big. And we don't need this table here, and this table could just be a backup over there, because that's where I would put this one first. I don't think I would use this here. I was going to leave this one here to move all of that stuff over and on for later on, probably within this upload. But I feel like there's enough walk space where I am, so that does the trick. But I just don't know when that's in. I think that's just going to be too close, especially with how big that base is. Because don't forget, the base is the size of that table, so it'll be in the middle. I'm going to want to get down and take photos of it, and I can't really crouch down in that area. Because what I didn't take into consideration, again, because I'm dumb, is this table was actually pushed underneath the wood. So this actually now sticks out a little bit more than what the other one did. But both of these will fit side by side, so that's not a problem. He says it will be a problem. Well, it won't be a problem. Hang on. It won't be a problem if it's underneath, because it will go underneath that table. But we are at this top of the range. I'm just putting it down. I'm not editing this out. 55 is there. It's just going to be underneath this, but it'll be in the middle. So the middle is obviously where that is. I measured it before. 170 from the table. So I go from the front of the table, 170, and I'm literally touching the ceiling. So that'll be all right. Yeah. So I think this needs to be a smaller table. I think this is too big. The only other thing that I could do is do it as a circle, where it's how you train guys and girls do it, isn't it? Where you have the city all the way around you, and you've got to crawl underneath to do it. Whereas if I just had a smaller table, I wouldn't really need to do it. See, annoyingly, if this table had shorter legs, I could have just left that table there, but I can't cut these legs down very easily. We will we will see. So I will think as I'm tidying. I'll bore you with it for another probably 20-30 seconds of actual time on that. It'll take me a lot longer than that. I'll see if I can get that other table down, and in this gap I'll tidy up those bits and pieces underneath, and then we can see where we're at. But I think this is too big. I don't think it would work left to right, so I want that as a full building desk and a little stool there just to sit on. But yeah, I think this is just too big. So if anybody can think of what size table to go there, I think it just needs to be to that line and come across, and that would just be as a backup, and then it would go from there to maybe the downtown and have those two. And then do I put a table over there, or do I just have that as more sort of storage? Because when that table goes over, whatever I put there just needs to be there permanently, which is right by the hatch. Whereas if we have it, it would go table 1, table 2, table 3, 3.5, 4, 5. Can't say I've not got enough tables, so I'm pretty sure we should be good. I might do that. I might go for a split look, get a smaller one. I think I'm gonna have to take them off, put that on that table. Theme park stuff comes onto this table, then the stuff that's on this table goes onto those two. I can then take this one apart, take the other one apart, and then there's a lot of floor space. But that is the plan. Enough of the waffle. Change your plan again. I'm thinking this table, if I take the legs off, I can actually put it on the floor, because it will give a better reflection with the lighting, and then the Colosseum can sit on top of it and it will slide if I need to pull it off. Now the only thing I'm concerned with is that the width of the legs going around the Colosseum, I don't know if I've got enough length / girth to be able to do it. So before I carry on tidying up the rest of those bits and pieces, which I've just started to do, I'm going to throw everything underneath a bit that I've just made space for, go and grab the drill, take the legs off, put the base of this on the floor, then put the lax on top of it, then get the Colosseum and see if it will fit underneath, and then put that lax on top. Now rather than doing it as a time lapse and putting some stupid music underneath it, because I'm going to end up smashing something, if I can get that bit done and that's where we can finish the video, or if I can move some more of the coaster bits over, so I know I've been waffling on a little bit on this one, at least then it'll give me time to sort of ponder and think on it, because the first 2 videos I've done in the same day. But I am thinking now, leaving a nice big open space in the middle so I can easily get a load of photos. It gives me a lot of space for room for lives. If I need to add in another table, I think I'll just put that one across there once all of that bit's done, so that corner can just get sorted out separately. But this table is going to be in the way unless I strip it apart like I said I was going to. But I think it might be better to utilise it and just drop it with the legs off. I have measured, I know it's adding on a little bit, and if I get the monster, it's getting closer and closer to the ceiling, it should still fit. And then even with the lack stood on top of it, that should then still fit underneath the table. There'll be plenty of space, and I can utilise it with all the minifigures walking around, and then we can put a lift and things in. But it's going to take me a little bit of time to get all of that stuff off the top of that one. So hopefully when you catch back up with me in a second, which won't be a second in my life, I will have this stripped down, 2 tables on top of this one. I might film myself moving the Colosseum, because if that goes wrong, that'll be an absolute disaster. And then that'll be the start then of a very good and fun project. Fingers crossed. Okay, we've done a thing. Pumpkin is sniffing, which means she's now in the way, so hopefully she will, there we go, move a little bit. I've somehow got to climb over all of that to get to that, to put that down on there, to then put the table over the top just to make sure it fits. Then I can put the other table there and just tidy up everything, get rid of all the cables, all the broken bits that are on the floor will have to go into another bag. So what I'm going to do, I think, if I place you there, and we'll go for a wander, and we'll see, hopefully it'll pick it up. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, well, I'll get close enough for it to smash and break. So she's just gone down the loft ladders, she won't want to look. Yeah, I've got to get this off, which is going to be a nightmare. Yeah, I've got to hover over the loft hatch as well, which is not going to be fun. But again, ideas if you think this will work. because hopefully this will be uploaded well before all the other bits and pieces, as long as I don't die. Can you imagine if I dropped it? That'd be funny. Smashy, smashy. Right. It's going to come with me. Make it nice and dramatic. So, we are like a big pizza. It's a big old thing. Got to plonk you down. Dramatic enough. Right, my only concern, I know obviously the base of this table isn't big enough to stand both of the Kallaxes on. That's fine. I've got wood to go either side once I've tidied it, so it'll be okay. However, the only issue is going to be is if the width of the legs don't clear the Colosseum, because the actual lack is the same as that. So that needs to be pulled forward so it will miss, and then we'll put the other table on. But if I put you back where you were, let me clear that off because that looks messy. You can tell these are a little bit more raw than the theme park videos that we do. One day I will fall down that hatch. So the question is, will it clear it? Let's have a look together, shall we? What do we think? Will the legs clear? I think it might. I think it might. So it'll look nice with it lit. Right, it does. Happy days. So we could bring that over. So this table is going to come right over there, and then the next table will go beside. And then we will triple check the height from up. Now I go right from what we want, 30. Excuse me. So 1.50 m, 5 foot, thumb, tape measure, table. So we haven't got that much to play with now, but I think it just looks better it off the floor, which means I can keep it clean a little bit easier, and I can shimmy it and move it about, because obviously it's going to get stuck to the carpet. That's the problem I've got. And then we can locate it and push it into the middle, and then we can do some bits and pieces with it. I think that might be a good thing to do. So what I will do is turn you off, get the other table, roughly place it. Again, make sure it fits, and then call it a night on that, because this has gone on for a long time. It might not seem like it is with how long this upload is, but this is where England actually are playing tonight in the World Cup, Saturday last 16. So if you want to keep a reference with regards to when this was filmed to when it actually gets uploaded, there is a big time difference between. But I'll grab the other table now, place it down, see if it fits, sleep on it, and then crack on sometime next week. I am warm now, right in. It's nowhere near, obviously, it needs to be leveled up and whatever else, but 2 tables now in. I think that's going to look much better. So what I can do at a much later date is add in the architecture round and just mark off with a bit of tape where the actual centre would be. Obviously it's going to be snug against that table going up, and the back of it will be snug against that. I will put a backdrop in, and underneath we have got a little bit of a wiggle room where I will be able to actually push it between the legs. Just this, I've got a bit of wiggle room probably to about here, so I can bring it over, but the very front I don't think will be smack in the middle because it is too big. So I might keep that over to the one side, maybe put the parking over to the other. Definitely can't have the table that we were saying about before, it never worked with how much space I need to crouch down just to get photos and actually build it all. Everything to the left hand side is stuff that I've thrown over. That was just instructions, old boxes and stuff, which I'm now going to go through. So what I will do before I start filming part number 3, part 3 will be shifting that stuff off and over, and moving the theme park stuff over. So what I'll probably do is just shove that into the corner, move all the stuff over, I'll put some bits and pieces in that corner. There's quite a lot of stuff there which you can't really see, but it'll be absolutely fine. And then it'll just be the start of creating this sort of big L shape. It feels like it's much bigger. It feels like I can actually move around. I don't feel as claustrophobic as what I did before as well, which is good. I know it's an absolute bomb site, but we have now got 5 tables for the city, which is perfect. So we'll just see what happens. But guys, that's it. I'm going to end it on a highish note. If you can like and subscribe and all that good stuff, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Everybody's ideas, launch it in the comments below. Let me know what you think. But as always, thank you very much for watching. You guys take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ta-da.